And welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Conversations with Eli Moon here on the Inside Edge Network. I am Eli Moon. We have been on a little bit of a hiatus, but with Winter Storm Fern here in Ohio and just a lot of crazy things going on, we are back in action with your weekly Tuesday episodes of Conversations with Eli Moon. Again, I'm Eli Moon. You probably see me quite a bit here on this network, or if you're just tuning in, welcome. Very excited to have you here, and I'm excited for my guest today, somebody I've known for, we're looking at 6 years now.
Yeah.
6 years. It's crazy. He is a Christian gospel artist in the city, and we got a lot to unpack about where we got to that point.
Absolutely.
But without further ado, my guest, DFG Sul. How are we doing today, bro?
We are good, bro. I'm so blessed. I'm so happy to be here with you, bro. I remember the first time I met you. You made a song called Big Head, and it was touching on mental health awareness. Yeah. And over the years, I have been facilitating for individuals with those battles, internally and externally. And it's just so good to know that I met someone like you, and you just been so consistent with the push in the movement of change through your music, and it means a lot to me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
For sure.
And you know what? I've never once doubted your belief in me since the day I met you.
Man, you my brother, man. Yeah, color don't make us, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
It's like when I met you, it was such a different experience for me. I was one of my first few years of making music.
Yeah.
And we did this competition. It was Cleveland Street Idol.
I remember that.
And we went out there and we did this whole big, for anybody out there, we were at Rocket Arena, or when it was still Quicken Loans Arena.
Yes, we was.
And we were out there and we did a competition with about, 30 to 50 artists? I mean, quite a lot of artists.
Some talented people.
Very talented. Mm-hmm. I mean, just awesome. Awesome room to be in. And one of my first, real big events I was a part of, or competitions, or whatever you want to look at it as. Mm-hmm. And I met you there. Yeah. You were doing your thing. You had that Cavs song, and you ended up taking home the win.
Yes, we did. Big money.
Big money. And I'm still, I was waiting for him to at least buy some lunch. We go get lunch or something.
Oh, dang. I'm so. Oh, you.
But no, it is awesome to see your growth. We'll get into all that, but just as an artist, as a human being too, it's been really cool. But I remember being there at Rocket Arena, and you walked up to me, and this was during the finale, the finals, and we're all kind of sweating bullets because we're like, dude, who's winning this thing? And they were telling you right then and there, and then you were performing later at the game. I think you guys ended up doing pregame.
It was crazy. Let me tell you a little bit about that situation. Nerves has never been something that I've ever had. Like, when it's time to go, it's time to go. It's like, no, it never. Eminem says, you do not miss your chance to blow. Opportunity once in a lifetime. So you better, right? So that's my mentality. Every time I move, I better, because if I don't just let me down, left other people who's watching me down.
Yes.
And that was the whole objective when I was preparing myself. So literally, I don't know if you know, after we got done winning the competition at the ballroom, we stayed outside of a store for 3 hours waiting until the Cavs game started, and we were rehearsing by trash and and bandos. Literally, we was rehearsing. We didn't look at the dirt as dirt. We looked at it as beauty, because God would turn ashes to beauty. He could take a dead situation and breathe life into it. So we went to a bad neighborhood and we breathed life through it with our steps that we moved and our actions, and then we applied it when we got on that big stage.
Yeah, and it was an awesome performance. Yeah. I mean, you definitely got more rhythm than me. I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it. But it's awesome to see, because you came up to me, like I said, at that event, the finals, and you're like, look, bro, you have something with that big head. And I was like,
I thought you won. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you were a one-man army. See, it was like 3 of us, and then you come
with me.
It was you and Pops for sure. Yeah. But us, you got to think it was kids. Because it was kids, we had a big advantage. You can't say no to the kids. That's kind of mean. I
was like, they have to win.
Yeah,
you guys
kept
have
saying
to win.
that too. Yeah, but your energy was just so exhilarating. It just made people want to get up and jump. I was like, hey, it was giving Astra Roth. I love college.
Yeah.
I remember when I first heard that song. I'm like, bro, is that the same guy?
Yeah. And I mean, we talk about influences all the time.
Yeah.
Before we dive into the journey and everything, who have been some of your influences, maybe growing up with music, or just over time, who's somebody that's influenced you, either sound or just the way they move in the music industry? Because I think right now, the music industry is in a in a state of change.
Yeah, it is.
And so I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. Who's influenced you, maybe early on or just now even.
So one person who's influenced me, I say my father. My father having me rap in the back seat, freestyling. I ain't really say too much then, but it definitely influenced me because I remember. And as I continue to grow and get older, then I carried it with me. Also, I would say Deacon Dontel Wright, man, he rest in paradise. Pastor Gregory Clark, he passed, man, he rest in peace. He was my mentor. Lecrae, Kirk Franklin, Will Smith. A lot of people don't know Will Smith was the first artist to get a Grammy doing hip hop.
Yeah.
That's influential. And the thing is, he didn't even curse. People always say, it's so awesome you don't cuss in your rap. And then when I got older and I started hearing myself cuss, I'm like, this ain't me. This don't sound right, So that type of stuff right there is a great influence because it's like you can still do what's exciting and still be a chain breaker.
Yeah.
Because people like to repeat the same thing they see and they hear because behavior is not caught, it's taught.
Yeah.
Right? And if I hear my mama cussing or my daddy cussing, I'm like, hey, that sounds like a cool word. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Now you
find a way to use it in every sentence.
Now you putting it in your music and stuff. It's like, who taught you this? But it's like sometimes you got to unlearn those behaviors.
But that's true. That's true because when I first started in music, like real talk with Papa Moon, he wouldn't listen to like some of my songs, not because he didn't like them, but because I was swearing like a sailor.
And it's like, you was Papa.
I had this show, Mama Moon and my aunt Monica, rest in peace to her. She passed away about 5-6 years ago, but she was such a big supporter of my music. She'd be like the only one I could actually show. I'd be like, hey, can you listen to this? Like, because I dropped a few F-bombs. Eli, come on, I got you.
Exactly.
But like, it does like make you think like. You don't necessarily have to always steer away from swearing, but use your words effectively.
Absolutely.
And whatever you're gonna say, use it effectively. Because you have not only the people around you and your age range listening, but we're trying to impact the next generation of people. And guess what? There's also older people. Like, look at Papa Moon. He's out here doing a podcast at, age 58. He'll be 59 in, a few months. So he's out here doing that. And just think about, like, we can inspire the older generation, too.
Absolutely.
And it's all how we use our words. I agree with you there about, like, just all those influences you mentioned, like Kirk Franklin, Lecrae. They're very, they're wordsmiths. They know what they're doing. They weave their way in and out of traffic.
Absolutely.
So.
But I ain't gonna lie, besides the Christian music, R&B has been a great influence on me. I remember being stuck in the car for hours, my mama playing the same song over and over. All right, y'all, I'm done. She played it 10 more times. I'm like, Mama, you said you was done.
It must be a mom thing. I'm not gonna. My mom would Jaheim.
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 No,
yes.
see, me, it was Joe. It was R. Kelly. Yes. It was Usher. It was Bobby Brown.
You had to have Charlie Wilson in there, right? We
Uncle Charlie.
Uncle
Charlie.
Look, we didn't grow up without Uncle Charlie.
Yeah, that's true. Outstanding.
Mama Moon would be getting us, ready for work. She'd be getting ready, we'd be getting ready for school. Breakfast is, here's whatever we have for breakfast that day, and you just hear, Uncle Charlie Wilson going, "Hey girl, how you doing?
My name is Charlie."
And I just think, it's cool that you have so many different influences. To kind of pivot back, go back to what you were saying. It's cool you have so many influences because you were, before the gospel, doing hip hop. One of my favorite songs by you still to this day is Diva. Me and Pops were just bumping it the other day, and
I got somebody who calls me every day, bro. Like, literally, like, man, I'm playing my song right now. I'm playing my song, and I'm like, and it'll be a recording, and she Diva like me. I'm like, bruh. I made that song like 4 years ago, but because of the influence in what I'm saying, it still stands out. And that's why I believe you should make timeless music, not music that's just for your ears, but for other people to be able to go back and want to play it 4 years, 5 years later, like, and it don't just be forgotten. Because God didn't give us these gifts to just sit them down, and then people like, okay, what's going on? Right. Because the word says you can't light a lamp on a hill if you cover it. So you gotta keep that covering off that light.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, bro. And there's so much, like, I feel like we just, if this was like a book for everybody out there, if this was like a book, we went all the way to the end. Like, it's not over. Actually, we're like right in the middle because we got a lot more from you to come.
Absolutely.
But let's go back to the beginning, okay?
Let's go.
Let's go back to the beginning here, and let's talk about the story of like when music became something that you realized you wanted to do as a career and push with that. When did it start for you? And kind of take me on that road before we met. What, in 2020?
Yeah. Oh, it happened way before that.
Yeah.
So it started when I was in the choir. I was in the choir. My mama was the choir director, and all these different people was coming in and out from jail into the church, and they were ministering through music to tell their testimony. And I was like, how God could take a negative situation and breathe life into the situation. I want to be able to talk about God's goodness, so I'm listening and I'm just soaking it in like a sponge and absorbing it. And then one day the pastor's son came, like I said, may he rest in peace. And he was like, hey, can I take him to my house? Now, parents, my mama, she didn't let us go nowhere. Like, if it's family, yes. But you talking about strangers, like, I couldn't even have friends at the house. Like, my mama was that strict. But if she would have said no, I don't know where the situation would have went from then. You know what I'm saying? But she said yes, believe it or not. And when she said yes, it opened up a door for me. It opened up a door, and it was just in the living room. My first song I did it in the middle of a living room. And him and his wife at the time, they just was just with me, like, hey, I play the beat, you drop the heat. And sure enough, from age 8 to so on and so forth, I'm like, I want to do this.
Yes.
And then I noticed that, like, sometimes, like, when I wanted a little extra money when I was growing up and stuff, I'm like, I got a CD. Let me go burn some CDs. This is when CDs was popular. I probably was rich off of CDs. I ain't gonna lie. I was rich. I was. And honestly, that's when I knew. I'm like, yeah. And it wasn't even just about the money. It was about the impact. Being a young man walking through the neighborhood and giving my CD to elder people, and they like, hey, man, I want to support this. You're positive. You're doing something good. It's like, okay, it's not the fact that I'm pleasing people. It's the fact that I'm pleasing God. I'm making music to lift His people up.
Yeah. And it seems like obviously there was like a switch in terms of the genre to the gospel music really in the last few years, and it seems like it just like spoke to you, like God spoke to you one day. Can you kind of walk me through that? Because like I said, and still like and I know like you said, it's timeless music, but Diva is still like one of those songs. And one day I look and I'm like, what's going on with Soul? Like I gotta see where his music, and then you drop your project, Walking with Purpose, correct? Walking with Purpose on all streaming platforms. Talk to me about like where this pivot happened from DFG Soul Diva and these types of vibes to Walking with Purpose. The album, kind of walk me through where that started and kind of the behind the meaning of the album, please.
Okay, so where it started was I was working on a project for years, and I was battling. I'm like, God, do I make gospel music? I love making music for you. Or do I make music for the world to, be appealing and be able to reach everybody, But then I thought about it like, no, you watering down the message. You told yourself you was going to make clean music at first with songs like Gusto, which went viral in 2016 and took you to BET. But then you started allowing your influences on your outside to get inside your inside. And now it affect you and how you communicate and how you respond. And you're trying to appeal to people over here who was never there to begin with. And now when I go to Arizona, because I'm going to Arizona trying to get a new beginning. I'm trying to escape all the negativity that I experienced. Because I don't know if you know, Diva was a happy song, but I was miserable during that time when I made that song. Okay. They say some of the most infectious vibes and of genres come out when you're in pain. And literally, I made that song out of pain, bro. But I was like, hey, love. Yeah, I wanted that energy from the person I was with at the time. So that's why I made that song. I was like, see, you even like me. And also, a lot of women, they don't know that they are beautiful. They date men. They treat them like crap. They make them feel inferior. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was with someone at the time who didn't really know their worth. Because they kept telling me, like, my demons won't let me be happy. So I'm like, ooh, diva. You know what I'm saying? Like, she a diva. She got that diva spirit. Yeah. But she also got something about her that make you want to tell your mama I ain't coming home. Yeah. Everybody wants that, But at the same time, it's like, as I listen to my project, the songs that I made after that, I'm like, who is this guy? Yeah. I don't like him. I didn't like who I was and the man that I seen when I looked in the mirror. I had grew my hair out. It was the same left for so many years. I'm like, let me cut my hair. Let me get a new beginning. Yeah. Let me go back to my roots. I wasn't brought on this earth to make music to appeal to the world. I mean, I was brought on this earth to make music for God and His people and to bring souls back. That's our journey. That's what we're supposed to do while we're here. It's not for your own selfish gain.
Yeah.
You know, He said, store treasures on earth. You know, store them from heaven.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I love the message of walking with purpose.
Yeah.
Me and Pops, as soon as we heard it dropped over the week, I keep shouting out Papa Moon because he's literally one of
Man, shout out to Papa Moon, man.
Yeah, he's one of the first listens. He's, like I said, producing. He's getting a taste of what I do typically on Saturdays. For him, with Real Talk with Papa Moon. So, but you know, he's like one of the first listens, and I go, look, Soul just dropped a gospel album. He goes, put it on right now. So we put it on in his new car. We're rocking and rolling, and
shout out to the new car. Hey, won't he do it? I seen it too. That boy shining. Yeah, and red is one of my favorite colors.
You know, I get off the phone with you, you know, getting you in, you know, because obviously for anybody out there, this is the living room. So this is, we make everybody comfortable, and just like your family.
Absolutely.
And I'm on the phone with you, and you're like, man, the car, bro. I was like, I'll tell Pops right now, because he loves when anybody tells him about that car. And
that he do.
He goes, tell Soul, I just got the car washed.
We
like
got to switch.
Day.
I just got my car washed today. Yeah. Awesome. Shout out car wash.
Shout out car wash, absolutely. If you're a car wash out there looking for a sponsor, you know, you want to do a little partnership with the Inside Edge Network, let us know.
Absolutely. And if you're in need of a jingle,
you're
ready to mingle.
Absolutely right. And talk to me about that. Let's kind of pivot for a second here. You've been doing a lot of jingles recently.
Yeah, man.
What sparked that?
So listen.
You did Foreman Mills, correct?
Yes, I did.
You did McDonald's.
Yep.
You've had a few other ones.
JCPenney.
Oh, my goodness. How could I forget the JCPenney one? Talk to me about, like, what... It just seems like every day you wake up and you have a new idea and this, like, breath of fresh air that, like, you're trying to find something different that maybe everybody else isn't doing. Talk to me about that.
The thing is, so when I was growing up, I used to watch a lot of shows. I used to watch Married with Children. I used to watch My Wife and Kids. I used to watch Jamie Foxx show. That's the show. And he used to make jingles. It was Jingle 2000, I think. And I used to listen. I'm like, ooh. And anytime I remember growing up looking at things, I can always make a song off of anything. I can look at the couch like, come inside the house and sit on the couch. You gonna feel just right. Like, just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that type of stuff. Like I could literally just talk about anything I see, a bag of chips, a can of pop, anything, and it just won't stop. And it was like, ooh, I could do this. Then I seen recently the young lady Romeo.
Yeah. They
said they gave her $2 million for a simple jingle talking about Dr. Pepper, baby. Yeah. I'm like, this ain't even this ain't a minute. It ain't 40 seconds. It's literally like 20 seconds. And you got that much money from that? Yeah. I'm sitting here scratching and surviving. I'm like, let me use my gift. Yeah. You know, and it's like a lot of times, like a brother of mine, Jewel B. Green, he said,
shout out Jewel, man.
He said, I've been sitting on jingles for so long because I was afraid that it won't be received. But see, my thing is, I'm like, you don't know if it's received if you don't release it. Yeah. How do you expect a person to even know what you have to offer if you're not giving it?
Yeah.
And I thought about that. I'm like, dude, you've been doing this too long. My brother laughed when he seen the jingle. He was like, bruh, it's funny. I said, what's funny? I said, why you laughing, comedian? Because he's a comedian. And he says, I know you all my life. You've been doing this. Yeah. It's just funny to finally see you do it. And I feel I can relate to my bro Jewel because it's like we all got abilities and things inside of us that we just hide. Yeah. And I don't know if you know the story in the Bible about the talents, how everybody got a set of talents. You got the man with 2, you got the man with 4, and you got the man with 6. I don't know. And they all came back with a portion of talents extra.
Yeah.
Something to offer. And I feel like your gift that you have instilled inside you, that's your talent. That's something that you're going to have to account for at the end of the day when your days are over. Yes. You know, when you talk to God, like, what did you do? Well, you gave me... And you gave me, but this is all I gave you. If you give him the limit, the least amount of what he gave you, I'm gonna be going, I don't know you, dog. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. So it's only right that I wake up and every day I walk in some kind of purpose, whether it's a jingle, it's getting on the beat, or it's moving my feet, doing some dance moves, whatever it may be. You know, I just feel like I got to use every ability for the best of what it's supposed to be.
Yes, absolutely, and you do a great job with that.
Thank you, man.
Like I said, the jingles caught my attention. I mean,
Yeah, and it's crazy because J.C. Penney's they
Yeah.
commented fire emojis and then they favorited the video.
They ain't hit you up yet.
They
though?
should have hit me up, but all in time, all in time. One thing I know about life is everything is a process. Just the fact that I got acknowledged my first jingle that I made, and literally it was on a Sunday at the church. I'm like, I fed the kids. I'm so bored. What do I do? I cut the camera on, and I just like. At JCPenney, you can get what you need. Go shop JCP. I'm like, oh, that's hard. So then I ain't like the video. So then I was like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna go back and listen. I revised it.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna just drop it. I'm gonna just see what happens. And sure enough, the same day they responded. And I was like, look at God. Then I did one for Welch's.
Yes.
And Welch's responded. Both the fruit snack company and the juice company. I'm like, okay, you responding, but are you going to pay me?
Right. No.
But at the same time, sometimes it's not about getting paid. It's about raising awareness.
Exactly.
It's about the impact,
Yeah, and I think people, I'm big on community, and like I think people realize when you build this community, money is like a cycle.
Yeah.
It really, I believe if you do good and you push out like community in the correct way, love, peace, that's kind of about me.
Absolutely.
But like that's I feel like how the community I'm trying to build and continue to expand, and obviously you're a big part of that. I talk to you quite a bit.
That's my guy right there.
Like, I think money's a cycle, right? So it shouldn't be like, well, this is to make this amount of money, because then you lose the art of it. You lose why your purpose. You lose your purpose of what you're doing it for. I think it's all going to work out. If you're doing good, if you're building community, if you're doing good, then good's going to come back to you. That's by way of money.
Yeah.
If whatever, I'll talk about it, but other things too, blessings.
Yeah.
If you continue to just walk in the path that and me personally, I believe that the good Lord, set for us.
Yes.
Then I think you just keep walking that, and it's going to work out.
Absolutely.
And I've seen you kind of just, like I said, just completely not worry about the expectations, not worry about the outside noise. I think that's when an artist is so impactful, so powerful.
I agree.
Tyler the Creator, I was watching on Instagram, it came up on a reel the other day about how artists, you were talking about it earlier, don't drop enough music. They try to plan some elaborate rollout and then it never comes out. And I'm not saying don't do those types of things, but I think, and I used to be like that, you get in your head so much where you're like, oh, I said I was dropping this 3 months ago, and it's been 3 months, and now what do I do? Earlier on, now it's like, you just got to go out and do it. If you feel like you're going to drop a single, drop a single. If you're going to put a video out showing your personality on Instagram and social media, do it.
Do it.
I think, you do that.
Yeah.
So I commend you on that.
And then one thing I want to do, I want to be resilient in everything I do. And I want to show my kids, like, don't be afraid to be you.
Yeah.
So many people, they literally sit and they said the cemetery is the richest place.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people done wasted their gifts and they done wasted their abilities because they were scared of what everybody else thought.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about what you think no more. I'm worried about what God thinks, because at the end of the day, that's who I got to answer to. And because I've lived my life so much trying to please everybody, I would have been a lot further than what I am now. But I feel like I have not missed the bus. I haven't missed the bus. I'm actually just getting started. It's literally right there waiting on me, But you just got to be willing to go on there and go withholding nothing. Letting everything go inside you, If you can act, be an actor. You can dance, be a dancer. If you can write a story, tell your testimony. Don't be afraid, because the only person you holding back is you. It's no one else.
Yeah. Talk to me about, you brought up being a dad. Talk to me about the balance between music, being a father, and just everything else you got going on. I mean, just talk to me about that, because that's not something I deal with. I mean, I'm very open that I don't have any kids of my own. But I see a lot of my bros and people in the community that are able to do such a great job with this balance of music and being a father. How do you handle rather the balance of being a father, and also doing, because you're making moves, and especially like, get back out on the show side. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But like, how do you handle it?
I handle it like this. I mean, I just take one day at a time. I try not to dwell on what's not working and just make most of what I do have, because I know to whom much is given, much is required. So a lot of times there are going to be times in your life where you lack, but you really don't lack nothing, because as long as you wake up in the morning, that's more than enough time to have promise to achieve something that you believe, you know, and you will receive it, but you first got to see it before you actually see
Yes.
it. See, a lot of people, they throw in the towel before they actually see the breakthrough. The breakthrough is right there in front of you, but you just got to willing to go towards it, you
Yeah.
know. But you look at your circumstances, you be like, I don't think this gonna work for me, and that's when you get stuck in the storm longer. It's kind of like you're murmuring to God, like, oh, you said you won't leave nor forsake me, but I don't believe it because what's happening to me right now. And see, me, I have challenges, you know, being a dad, you know, and having my children with me a lot. At times I get a break, and times I don't get a break, and it could be frustrating, but I just give it to God and say, you know what? You didn't bring me this far to leave me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if I gotta take them with me,
Yeah.
it iron sharpens iron. So what I'm doing is I'm showing my children the way of life to live righteously and in a way to not give up on yourself.
Yes.
I want my kids to know that they can achieve anything if they believe, you know.
I love it. I love
And most
it.
importantly, put God first before anything.
I love it. I love it. You talk about reading the Bible and like different verses. I've
Yeah.
been reading Job recently.
Nice. I love Joe. Yeah,
Joe.
you lose everything, you get it back. You know, and that's another thing. Like, I'm in a place in my life right now where it look good. You see the work, you see the things, and you be like, oh, he got it made. I don't got it made, but I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed because though I have less, I'm at my best. Mentally, I'm secure. And physically and spiritually, I'm aligned. And it's all about your alignment. Once you be aligned with the things that you want and that you see, then nothing else matters that comes against you. It's all obsolete.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And you know, we've seen, like I said, with you putting everything like God first, and with the gospel music, that it's blessed you with like show opportunities. Can you talk to me a little bit about like what? We'll talk about what you have coming up, but like some of the things you've already done, like because you stepped out to some of these shows,
Yep.
you performed at some of these shows. Just talk to me about like your experience because it's been like a whole little wave here the last year or so. Like,
Listen,
yeah.
so it's crazy because I thought I was doing something when I was doing music for the world, but God say, hold on, watch this. since I've literally turned my music around to what I started with, the thing is, you know your purpose, but a lot of people detour you from what your purpose is because the outside noise can affect you if you got your ears open too much. Sometimes you gotta shut your ears and be like and discern what's right and what's wrong, you know, and what you need and what you don't need. And sometimes the stuff you hold on to that's not good is the stuff that deteriorates the vision.
Yes.
And me, ever since I crossed back over to my road, what I've started, it's kind of like it's kind of like this. God just been opening doors for everything. I had a billboard downtown.
Right.
Still, it's been up 4 years, bro.
Right.
I've never been on the radio ever when I made secular music. When I came back to doing Christian music, I'm on the radio. Just the other day, I hopped in the car, man. Thank You came on.
That's
2026.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's 2026 and y'all still playing this? And then I ain't do 500,000 streams. I have 100,000 streams, but I'm faithful. I'm faithful in what I'm supposed to do, and that's when the breakthrough happens. That's when the doors start happening. When you actually believe what you're doing, and you just keep pushing, no matter how fast it's happening, and how much you're not getting from it. Just keep going, and it's all gonna come as it's gonna gather itself.
I think that was cool too. You just brought up "Thank You" with Lord Luke on that track.
That's
with
my
you.
guy. Shout
And,
out my brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and you know, I've listened to Lord Luke. Obviously, he's very popular in the city of Cleveland. And you know, you were listening to some like if you go listen to like some of the stuff that he was on TikTok and then the platforms, it was completely different than
I
you
know.
Thank You. Like so. I mean, how do you get this type of song to come together? Because like I said, you're listening to completely different vibes.
Yeah, I know.
You know
what's so crazy?
Yeah.
So way before I met you, me and Lord Luke used to be in the nightlife, like doing shows with people like Andrew Lloyd and stuff.
Yeah.
Down at the Anatomy downtown. I don't think it's the Anatomy no more, but and bro used to be rocking out, and I was like, man, this dude's so talented, like blah blah blah. I gotta work with him, cause me, I wouldn't call myself an A&R, but I feel like I'm an A&R. I know what good music sound like and what a good artist is. I actually managed an artist a few years ago. She's doing very well. Her name is Sherry Cachet, talented. Y'all be on the lookout for her. She kind of remind me of Tink. Dope. But back to the story. Luke, I always said it like, I got to do a song with bro. I got to do a song. So we did a song years ago.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. It was called Patience.
Okay.
Yep.
That was on one of your previous projects.
No, you never heard this.
Okay.
I never released it.
Okay.
I recorded it, and bro was snapping. He snapped, bro. I never put it out. And that's why it's important to put stuff out, too, because they probably would have been able to connect the two bridges. Like, okay, well, they done work before, but you don't know because you ain't heard it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Bro bodied me on my own record. I'm like, oh, no. I did the hook, and it was the same concept.
Yeah.
What Thank You was.
Okay.
I did the hook. I did a verse that he came in. I swear I did it with a purpose. Made a word. I'm like, I ain't putting this out. You ain't about to. So, fast forward, I was talking to an artist, and I was like, I want you to do a verse for me. Because when I was writing the song, all I heard was a hook. I ain't hear no verses.
Yeah.
And then the artist, she was singing the hook, and she was singing it wrong. I'm like, this ain't the song. You're doing it wrong. So, sure enough, I didn't like what I was hearing, and I was like, I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
Lord, give me the strength to go in and use my vocals the right way. And I went in there, and I delivered, and I was like, ooh, that's how it's supposed to sound. And I sent it to her. She still had her own little sound. I'm like, yeah, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Maybe the next project.
Yeah.
Then I reached out to Lord. I'm like, yo, bro, I got something for you.
Yeah.
But you can't cuss. He's like, bro, I'm not illiterate. I make songs. I be in the church too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then his name is Lord Luke. That's his real name, Lord.
Yeah.
You know, so he knows God. He's in the church.
Wow.
He plays the drums. He plays the piano. Dude is mad talented.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, I think he was supposed to hop on that record with me. Just the timing just wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? In the past, we could have done more work with each other, but this timing was right.
Yeah.
You know, his brother had went to jail and stuff, and it's like he had a testimony. Like his verse, it was his testimony. If you know Lord, then you know that bro. You know that guy. He dealing with battles, like fighting everybody else's battle for them and having to be your own strength at the same time. He needed to be on that record. Like, it was like, thank you. Like, you kept me through all this stuff when I could have jumped off a bridge. You kept me through all these moments when them bullets was ducking over my head. You kept me when I got in these car crashes. You kept me when mama was coming to me with her problems and I had to be her strength, but she was supposed to be my strength. Oh my God. He had to be on there. It was like, God was like, look no further. It's right in front of you. Sometimes the pieces that you're looking to put in the puzzle is literally in front of you.
Yeah.
You just got to execute it. And that's what that was. That was execution. I hit bro up. I'm like, yo, when he hit the studio, because normally I'm the type of person where I want to hear your verse right away. I'm like, hold on, now you hopping on my record, bro. You know,
show me the verse.
But I ain't got to question him. That guy, he delivers every time. You will never hear nothing subpar from my bro.
Yep.
And sure enough, he delivered. And I'm talking about I had to play it over and over and over and over again. And it's to the point, bro, we even got some cosigns, bro. Cosigns from Benzino, cosigns from Ray Daniels, the guy who worked with Chris Brown. Like just recently I played it. They was like,
wow.
You know. So
it's an amazing track.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's just like it's beautiful. Like I feel like it don't matter where you come from and what you doing. If you have positive vibrations, it can always align, you know. And people be like, oh, how you do a song with somebody in the world? Well, literally, if you really knew his story, you'll be like, he was meant to be on that. This is his testimony you're hearing. You know what I'm saying?
It's a real.
And a lot of people they afraid because when you stuck in that shell for so long, you know, like Patrick Starr, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to come out, and you get so stuck in that shell that it becomes normal to you, and you need somebody to help you break out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And like I said, you guys definitely complement each other very well on that song.
I agree.
Yeah, I love it, and I'm excited to hear what you got coming up here next. Before we go there, I just talk to me. We talked about some challenging times. We talked about like the journey and just kind of like I think we got a better idea who DFG Sul is.
For sure.
But kind of talk to me about like a pivotal moment you feel like that maybe has been a trying time for you. That maybe you could speak to a newer artist out there, anybody, and just let them know. I guess this is any words of encouragement. Motivation, things like that. I feel like I'm taking Pop Moon's thing here a little bit, but basically just like advice to a new artist for somebody that's been established in the game for over a decade now.
So my advice is one thing about me I've never done. I never really had a team. I had a team once upon a time, but I feel like I was doing more work than a team. And when you're doing more work than a team, it is required for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna just let God lead. God has literally been my manager for so many years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a team, it's very important to have a team. You can't do it all by yourself. Now, if you know how to play, if you know how to produce and record and
Yeah.
all that stuff, that's cool. But a team is important. You shouldn't have to do all the heavy work, you know.
Yeah.
And then also another thing, be mindful of the contracts. You know, people give out contracts all the time, and if you're not careful about what you're reading, because you're just so eager to get an opportunity, you might put yourself in a hole. And that's what they mean by selling your soul. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? These 360 deals and all that. I've got a contract before. It got set on fire. Also, I've given my project to a label before, and they took my song.
Yeah.
So you just got to be mindful of how you do business and who you do it with, and make sure you get you an entertainment lawyer. Make sure you got your sound scan together so you can get your music on placements of TV shows and movies. And I'm learning this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Sound
big,
Pro.
though.
Also make sure you got your publishing companies together so you can get royalties from things like United Masters, ASCAP. I think there's plenty more,
Yeah,
out there. BMI,
yeah,
all
sound,
those.
you can even do
Sound Exchange.
Yeah.
Yep, I know
Yeah.
about that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I'm actually through United Masters right now.
Okay.
I believe I'm gonna do things a little different this time though,
Yeah.
because I noticed that these streaming sites, they take your money, man.
It takes a lot. You're making less than a cent per
Yeah,
stream, you know.
absolutely.
And it's not even just like, okay, it's less than a cent. No, it's like it's not even really a percentage of a cent. It feels like
Yeah.
sometimes, and that's, you brought up about reading the contract, reading the fine print. Everybody wants to be famous,
Absolutely.
but it sucks not being famous once you sign that contract and they shelf you. And that's what happens with a lot of these artists. They don't
Agreed.
see it. We talked about it earlier. The money is seen first, but there's a lot of details in it. Like you said, getting shelved. You sign and now you're shelved for 3 to 5 years. I've heard stories. I've seen it happen, and you just got to be careful with that.
Yeah. Well, so
yeah.
my advice, I would say this: if you're new out there and you looking to do music, do it for you. Don't do it for others.
Yeah.
Do it for you. Pour out
Yeah.
your heart. Let your heart lead. Let your testimony lead. Let your voice lead. Don't try to appeal to what everybody else wants you to do. Because honestly, you might lose yourself in the process of it because you're trying to do what X, Y, and Z like instead of following your ABCs. You know.
Yeah.
They say you get a plan, you get an A, you get a B, you get a C, but sometimes B and C don't matter. Sometimes if you focus on the A, you eventually get exactly where you're trying to get.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Talk to me about what's coming up for you. Any
Ooh.
upcoming shows, and where can the people find you at?
Man, I got some good stuff coming up. We got a tour coming up, the Walking in My Purpose tour, actually, that's coming soon. I'm going to Africa soon. We ministering out there. Heard it's like over 3,000 people. It might be more.
How long
I'm
you
gonna
gonna
tell
be
you a
out
little bit
there?
more. Probably a week.
Okay, that's
Week
amazing.
serving, ministering through the gospel as well as through music.
Yeah.
I plan on going. I just got booked for Montana, Nebraska, and in Great Falls. Montana, Nebraska. Yep. And the dude reached out to me and was like, "You driving or we flying you out?" Flying me out?
Good to ask.
Why do I
mean,
want to
shit.
drive? Because I looked it up online. It was like a whole day and like 9 hours. I said, "Oh yeah." I'm flying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all this came from just patience and perseverance.
Yes.
I feel like I don't do enough, but I feel like I do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you do what you're supposed to do, even when you think you're doing little, God catapulted to make it more.
Yeah.
He's speaking to people in other rooms right now about you, and you don't even know. Your opportunity is literally around the corner, waiting for you to say, "Hello, I'm right here. You see me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Where can the people find you at as well?
Y'all can find me on IG at only one DFG Sul. That's only one as in number one, DFG Sul. And DFG just stands for greatness. Greater is he that lives in me than he that is in the world. Also, Sal, that's my first name, Solomon, but it's the Arabic spelling, Sul. That's why I feel like your name is everything. That's the reason why I incorporated my name, because honestly, who I am is what I live by. It's my walk, it's my talk, it's my thoughts, it's my actions. And that's what you see. When you hear me, you see me. You see Solomon. You see who I am for who I was made to be, you know.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be nothing else less than who I'm supposed to be. And you also can follow me on Facebook at Sul Al Jalil. That's SUL Al Jalil. TikTok, only one DFG Sul. And y'all can find me on all platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Google. Turn on your radio. I'm on your radio, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We on like 7 different FM stations,
That's
bro.
amazing, dude.
Like it's crazy. Like I'm 1 minute I'm on 107.9. Next minute I'm on 95.9. On 2 stations on 95.9.
Yeah.
Next minute I'm on 96.1. I'm like, God, like he opening doors. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about perseverance, man. Just keep working, keep trusting the process, and keep sculpting. You know, don't be afraid to rebrand yourself if you have to. You feel me? Like, cause a lot of times we get so stuck and comfortable in what we like, but sometimes you gotta be like, no, I like this person, but I could chip some things away too.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta unlearn some things.
Yeah.
You know.
I love it. It's always good talking with you,
Absolutely.
my bro. This again is my bro DFG Sul. Make sure you follow him. Only one, like the number. DFG Sul, get in touch with him. DFG Sul on all platforms, so make sure you tune in. His new album just dropped last year. His newest project, Walking in Purpose,
Yes.
is out on all streaming platforms. My favorite track's Energy. Papa Moon would probably co-sign that.
Yeah.
And we definitely appreciate you. Make sure you go check that out. Check DFG Sul out. And I got something to tell you here. So we just got some news here on the Inside Edge Network, where we're at right here on the Inside Edge Network, right here. Yeah, we just got a new sponsor.
Woo!
know.
Y'all clap it up for Moon and Papa Moon.
Thank you. And shout out to everybody at the Inside Edge Network, and shout out our newest sponsor, Eli Rose Fragrances.
Wow.
Yes. Actually, I got something I got to tell you, and I'll tell everybody out there right now. Go ahead, Papa Moon, hit the ad. We are off screen right now, Soul, but they can still hear us.
For sure.
And listen to this. So, Eli Rose Fragrances, they have candles, body mist, aroma, just smell good. Valentine's Day is coming up, the holidays are coming up. You know, you still want to smell good and the house to smell good. So if you use the code InsideEdge20, capital I and capital E, all one word, InsideEdge20, you get 20% off your entire order. Yep. So typically it's about $40 for 2 candles. You can get them for $32, about $8. And the more you buy, you can knock about $20 off of 5 candles entirely.
That is
so
sweet.
Pretty cool. Figured I'd let you know with the holidays coming up and let everybody out there know that you can go ahead and get the hookup to Inside Edge Network.
That's cool.
So with that being said, we are going to wrap this up. I know you don't see us anymore, but again, for DFG Sul coming and sharing just his journey and what he's got coming up, thank you again. Thank you to Eli Rose Fragrances, the newest sponsor of the Inside Edge Network. Thank you to all of you out there for tuning in for another episode of Conversations with Eli Moon. I'm Eli Moon, and we'll see you next week. Got a very, very exciting episode. See you then.
Peace. Oh yeah, that was fire.